Hello, everybody. My name is Alejandro Ortiz. You are listening to a Random Gamers Corner, and I'm joined by my co-host Nathan.
Hi.
And we will be talking about comparing our lives, our in school, in high school, to the game Bully. That experience. Obviously, we're not going to be like saying like, "Oh, I've dealt with freaking spud guns or getting into school fights just to
Yeah,
like
I
being
used to be a
from
bald
school."
kid hitting prefects. Yeah.
No, it's more like we're just gonna be reflecting back on our school lives and see like how if there are some similarities to school life and bully, and just about the game in general. Because I know Nathan loves the game, I love the game as well, and I felt like you know what, we should talk about this game someday, and here we are now,
Yeah.
whichever day it may be, this recording may come out. So to start this off with, I want to be at least explain what the game Bully is about, so or what it is. So, it's a game that is developed by Rockstar Vancouver and published by Rockstar Games. It came out during October 17, 2006 for the PlayStation 2. Huh, I thought it would be coming in with anything else, but no. But it did get remastered for the Scholarship Edition, which was later on, and oh, that was pretty early. October 21, 2008. So that was pretty cool of them to actually make a Scholarship Edition in the first place. From what I remember, it did add some little side missions.
hmm
Some just like really refined the visual looks of it as well. I like when I played the game, I was thinking like, okay, yeah, this is beautiful. You don't have to worry about the PlayStation 2 blurriness.
hmm
Like everything looks a bit more crisp, which is really nice. Though you do have like the weird glitch with entering the classrooms, you sitting down in your English class
Spin
desk, and
around in
you
a circle. So funny.
it is. And I didn't really plan this topic out because I feel it's just going to be a bit more natural to just talk about whatever comes to mind. And right now, I just want to say this. Yeah, Jimmy Hopkins' life, school life compared to mine is definitely different. I was more of a, I mean, I could get the outsider part, but for anything else, like getting like school fights, um, fighting townies, spray painting, building my own bike. Damn, that would be so cool though. And just random stuff like that, like or getting into like mischief a lot or bullying back the bullies. Like I definitely did not do that kind of thing. Though it would have been interesting, but alas, I didn't want my didn't want my educational life to be in jeopardy.
Oh yeah. We were far too good people to be engaging in that, like, you know, throwing firecrackers at kids is an example, things of that nature. But I
Yeah.
feel it. You know,
Dude,
I
oh, go on.
oh, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, dude, just to I don't know how. Like, have you noticed that it's so weird that throwing a firecracker in one toilet makes all the other toilets like go off once the firecracker explodes?
No, I didn't actually. I'll have to pay attention to that.
But yeah, that happened. But go on.
I was gonna say, like, it was so weird when Bully came out because I swear I used to want to be a video game developer, right? And I
Mm,
had all these ideas, and I swear I would have these ideas, and then I'd find something like that kind of matched it, right? So I remember this one time, like, just as an example, I told my mom and like my brother, I told my family I want to make a video game where you can be a dog, because as far as I was aware, there wasn't a game where you could be a dog and like just live the life of a dog. And I'm
mm,
like, I don't know what dogs do, but like they run around the street, they eat some shit off the ground, they fuck other dogs, whatever. You know, I thought that'd be neat. Then again, I don't know how many people have ever wanted to play as dogs. I think that's a bit like weird now that I'm older because I don't know. Then I found this game called Dog's Life, and that game you get to be little doggies. I mean, it has like a story and stuff too,
right.
but it was pretty like it was one of those situations with Bully as well because with Bully, I was like, I really want a game where you go to school. I mean, the only game that I'd played at the time that you go to school was Harry Potter, and you go to Hogwarts. It's not the same, you know.
Right. Even though Prisoner of Azkaban game, I feel like that's the best game out of the whole series. But
I haven't played. Okay, I've noticed too for the Harry Potter. I know this is a bit of a detour, but like the Harry Potter games, I've noticed you have two versions or like three versions of the same game. You have like, okay, so I haven't played tons of them. I know, what was it called? The sixth one, the Half Blood Prince. I don't know why I was
yeah.
struggling to remember it. The Half Blood Prince was a really weird game, and it was all centered around potions and stuff. Which fair enough, because the book is, the movie is too.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was just bizarre. It was. I remember like watching the game and thinking, "What the hell?" Because it was so different than the other ones. Um, but like not Chamber of Secrets. The Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where you hail from. I remember on the PC, it was like a completely different game than the PS1 version. You know, and I thought it was really weird. Um, I didn't discover that until years later. I had the PC one, and that I loved that one. But anyways, you know, Bully was a lot more relatable to my schooling because it felt like I knew the kids were older and stuff, but you know, you had to go to class. I knew it was a boarding school,
Yeah.
which in America, I'm not sure if we have international viewers, but if we do, um, you know, in America, it's not common to go to like a boarding school. Most people just go to their local public school. I mean, I know there are boarding schools and, you know, um, stuff like that, but for the most part, I think that's more I don't know if it's like a European thing or a Northeast thing because I think it's more common on the East Coast than in the West Coast at any rate.
I think
Um,
so.
yeah, but like it was just really relatable. You know, I liked how you walk around, and I don't know. I remember you had to wear a school uniform, which at the time I swear every school that I was at, they were talking about maybe implementing a school uniform, and
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man, that's my freedom of expression, and I never did in Bully. I would always not wear the uniform, you know, just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's so crazy how it came out. Like I remember exactly where I was, to be honest with you. I was at uh my friend's house. He lived down the street from us. We were watching TV. He had a big like this was before like flat screen TVs had really taken off. We had like the big screen TVs, but they were the bulky ones, you know, the big
Almost a
kinds that
big ass
like took
back there.
yeah, and the ones that took up like a whole wall and shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he had like one of those entertainment rooms and stuff. We were playing remember that game that you got? Um, and I played with you the Marvel Nemesis one, the one
Yeah.
you know where what happened to me? Like I died in one hit. Someone chucked a car at me and it killed
You
me. That
threw.
was funny.
You hit a dumpster. It flew and it hit a bigger dumpster. It flew into the air and you were ready to kill. You were like, "Yeah, that's right. I be scared of me" or some shit like that. And then it came back down and it fell on your head and you
Yeah,
died.
yeah, that's right.
I was like,
That's
"God damn."
yeah.
Death by dumpster.
So, dude, I don't know what happens with me when I play video games, but I appear to break them. Like I don't know, but like
That was amazing.
we were actually playing that game. He's the one who had the game. He introduced us to it, and
Hmm.
it was like we were taking a break, we were eating something, and we were watching TV. And then, you know, this back before, I'm saying this just in case there's younger viewers. I don't know if you've never watched TV properly, you can't skip like this is before DVRs and all that stuff. You can't just skip through the ads or pause and wait until it like goes further along or record it. You just sat there and there's this ad coming out and you hear the little music like do 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 do, you know, like the Bully music, and
Yeah.
we're just looking at it, and it starts like giving us the premise and the lowdown of this school, and it said like, you know, coming next year, and we're like, holy shit, we were so excited. Yeah, it was crazy. And I
Speaking
think that was like the day the day that the trailer came out, I guess, because then we went home and we looked it up on YouTube because that was a thing at the time, and it had just dropped a couple hours like ago.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't know, it was so cool. I remember we legit like marked down the date for it and we got it the day of, you know? We were so excited for it. But
That's pretty cool.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I
Oh yeah.
just randomly found it, and oh my god, this is when like GameStop was like, this let's say like maybe around 2007, 2008 is when
They were
I,
just coming through, right?
yeah, like
In
I
our
barely,
town.
yeah, I was like, yeah, like in GameStops, you wouldn't like, like have them like nearly everywhere now. Well, back when it was like in its bit of its prime, but yeah, back then I was usually going to GameStop, and then one day I just saw the cover of this game. It was Bully. And I was kind of like, wow, this game looks really cool. Like the cover was all nice and shiny, and it was like a beautiful it was just like a beautiful art. And I was kind of like the emblem of the school. So I was like, I'm gonna try this out, and so I did. Um, that's the funny thing. If I'm remembering correctly, and it's like some weird Rockstar curse that hit me twice.
Right.
I got the game and it didn't work. So I was like, shit. Time to go back and see if I
That's
could
the
get a different kind of
worst.
copy.
Yeah.
And this time, another pre-owned version. I was able to I finally got the game to work, and after like a while playing it, I just couldn't stop playing it. It was just so much fun. At first, I was like a bit nervous about it because I keep looking at the back of the thing, like you see like the little pictures, the screenshots of different things to do. And I was like, what's going on? Like, because at the time I was also still a bit new um to playing PlayStation 2 games. Because like the stuff like Crash or Crash Bandicoot, I didn't know like how it was gonna be to play this game that was more set in like a real world setting. And after that, my words went away. I was thinking, oh, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Younger Alejandro didn't know shit about like games being made by same companies. It was just, oh, I want this. I want to play it. I'm playing it.
Yeah, I used to think that games were made by one guy. You know, like one guy had this dream and he's just like, I make video games and he does it all by himself. I didn't know that companies did that. I always wondered, like, what the fuck is Rockstar? You know, when Grand Theft Auto comes up, I was like, that's an annoying logo. You know, just
Yeah, I thought
yeah.
they were just like a drink, the freaking energy drink company or whatever.
I did too, to be honest. Like at first, I was like, oh, they had something to do with this. Yeah. I remember having that thought too. I was like, "What the hell?" You know? Yeah, that's funny, dude. That's really funny. I thought I was just like retarded because I completely forgot about that. To be honest with you, I completely forgot that I associated it with the energy drink.
Dude, I'm glad you associated with it too. I thought I was the only one that did that. I was like,
That's
am
what
I
I'm
did I
saying,
mention it?
bro.
I was
Yeah,
like, did I mention it? Like that's crazy.
that's really good to know.
Hmm. And yeah, I got after all this time, I would still find myself coming back to it or just thinking about the memories I have of the game because it was that good of a game just to have so many activities to do. Yes, classes are, I would consider them activities. They were sort of fun, I won't lie. And I got before I get into like the bit of controversy talk, I just find it crazy that a game about not wanting to focus on schools kind of makes it fun to like actually take part in the classes and just want to have like a bit of social life with the other students. Well, for the limited time it was, I mean, for the limits it had and trying to like have interactions with other students, like you can't really go full on friendships and such. It's more about no, you beat the hell out of this person, you get more respect. You beat the hell out of this person, this faction gives respect. It's just that kind of stuff.
Well, to be honest, I was kind of like a ghetto bird kid, so I kind of thought that that's how it worked. Like in my middle school days and stuff, like I had a lot of problems with like bunch of kids. You know, I was a I punched a couple kids. I didn't really fight per se. You'd be surprised, like how tough people. Well, I can't say people because I've never done it to a grown ass man or anything. But like, you'd be surprised how tough kids try to act, and then you punch them in the face, and then they don't do anything. Like they don't fight you back, or you'll say, "Hey, let's fight," and they'll be like, "No," you know what I mean? Like it really
Yeah.
surprised me. So I mean, bully like it made sense to me. I was thinking like, oh, if you beat the shit out of people like everyone, then you're the king of the school. And that's kind of how I thought. I thought if you were able to beat up everyone, or if you did beat up everyone, then you were like the coolest kid. I don't know. It was weird. Like I felt like I had something to prove. It's not because of that game. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying like, oh, my propensity for violence was because that's stupid. You know, I hate those
All right.
journalists and stuff that try to insinuate that.
I
It's
hate
just
it.
kind of like, um, it was more like my personal temperament and stuff. But it struck a chord with me. That's what I'm trying to get at. That bully struck a chord with me when it came to beating people up and gaining respect and taking over the school. Because I always wanted to take over the school too. You know, which is stupid because you're a little kid. You have no control over a school. But I mean, I always thought like this is mine kind of thing. Like I'd be sitting up on the like I'd be up on one of those classes on the second story and I'd be like, fuck yeah, you know, just like like Mufasa in the Lion King where it's like everything the light touches, you know. So yeah, it was a good like I don't know, it resonated a lot with me.
Just got that younger mindset where you think you can do whatever. And you're right about that whole people want to try to act tough until like you actually do want to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost got into a middle school fight because some guy back when before I had my surgery where my jaw was like a bit more overgrown.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy would fucking like walk behind me, like follow me around, like try to mimic my jaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking like this motherfucker tried to make fun of me even though he has a big ass head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to go back to that. Try to be the pity. Like, hey, I mean, over time, because back then I used to be like more, oh, just try to be nice to everybody. Hope people will be nice to me. But over time, you realize that shit won't actually work. Like, you gotta be a bit of an asshole yourself, or at least stand up for yourself more and more. And I'm
Yeah.
still doing that more as an adult. But um, anyways, yeah, he was always following me around, and he was like trying to mimic me. But one day. I don't know what made me decide like, you know what, I have enough. But he was following me and I was about to like turn around to like this random corner,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like slowing down because he was like still like following me. And I freaking like backed up and tried to do like a back kick to try to
Right.
aim for his head. And he backed away and I just did like a quick spin to like face him. And I was like thinking like, all right, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh hell no. And he walked away. I was standing like, what a bitch. Like what the fuck?
That kick probably like freaked him out. He's like, you know, oh no, I don't know. I'd be freaked out if some kid tried to head kick me, like even if I'm fucking around with them, like, you know, because that's a bit of an escalation, I will say. But like, I'm not saying you're in the wrong either, though, because I know like I've been bullied before and stuff. And honestly, it's so weird. Sometimes you're having a perfectly fine day, and then you just snap. You're like motherfucker, and you just, you know, you just
That's
go
the
off.
thing, though. I never had a perfectly fine day in that school, and that's
Right.
why I was thinking, like, I was at. I think it was after some girl, like, I'm not gonna mention her name, like, got my spirits up because, like, she said, like, oh yeah, like, we can date, and then, like, the next day, like, we saw each other, like, after a weekend. She was like, oh, sorry, like, I'm breaking up with you. I'm like,
That
heartbroken as
bitch.
fuck. I know. I was saying, like, fuck, are girls like that?
All right.
And
That's where it all started. The root of all your problems.
possibly, but like a month after, a month after, I was like, there's a bit more like not as optimistic I once was, but
Mm,
I am again. But during that time, I was just more. I don't want to be bothered by anybody. Like, dude, I got like fucking hurt, and then I'm not doing so well with my grades. Like, I'm trying to catch up as much as I could. And then like that, he was like still doing that, and when he was doing that, I was thinking, like, you know what, I had enough. But like, I don't care anymore. And that's why I
Yeah.
decided, like, I think that just ticked me off. Like, I don't need any more of this bullshit. I was like, okay, he wants to go, then I'll go. And when I did that, a lot of people were going like, whoa, did he actually do that? Like, yo, he actually tried the back
Right.
kick. And after that, I was thinking like, look at pussy, and I walked away. For anyone that's listening, I know there's a lot more cussing than usual, but hey,
But
this
fuck
is how
that
it is.
guy.
Like you already heard us cuss a lot in the other episodes, but if you're new to this podcast, yes, we do cuss. But I walked away, went to my wall to like sit against. Yes, I don't. When I say I was like an outsider, I really don't like. I don't even like sitting on the tables that much. Like Nathan, you know how where I usually sit in high school.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, middle school I just sat against that wall after that whole commotion. And then some random kid came up to me, and I was thinking like, oh god, what now? And he's like, yo, dude, I saw what you did back there. Like, it was some kind of like donkey kick, right? I was thinking, would that be called a donkey kick? Yeah, that'd be called a donkey kick. I told him. And after that, he was just thinking like, dude, that was so damn cool. I was thinking like, god damn, someone said I'm cool. That is different. What kind of timeline is this?
Right.
And I think that was the time when I was showing that little semblance of standing up for myself.
Oh
Just
yeah.
but it's like a first step for like a very long journey to doing that.
No, definitely.
Yeah. High school, yeah, I was kind of like more of a depressed kid at that time. Like, remember Javier, like how he always like followed me.
Oh,
Like,
Javi! I loved Javi.
I don't know
Oh
what
my
happened to that guy.
god.
He keeps disappearing. Like, I don't understand.
Dude. I'm sad. I remember like I swear I saw him like because he would eat with us. I remember there was a period of time because sometimes I'd go off and do other stuff because I was in band and French and all this other stuff. But most times I would eat with you guys. Hobby started eating with us, and for a while, like it was you, me, and him, and then he just started disappearing. I think if I remember right, he was hanging out with a female, but I don't remember.
Oh,
Was he?
last time I saw
I
him was
don't
in
know.
McDonald's.
Huh?
Last time I saw him was in a
McDonald's.
McDonald's at a Walmart
Was he like eating there or was he working there?
working there.
Oh shoot, that's crazy.
That was
I hate
several years ago.
I hate going back to that town because I always see someone that I know. And it's so weird to me because I have this weird like complex inside of me where I'm like, okay, they knew me when I was an infant, they knew me when I was like really young, and I separate I think that I'm so much smarter than when I was younger that I separate myself from who I used to be. I don't
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people who just accepts that they get older and like, oh man, it is what it is. We're all a little goofy when we're younger. No, I like hate myself. I'm like, if you knew me when I was young, I don't want to be associated with you. So I'll go to eat something just real quick over there, and I'll always there's someone there like either if they're eating there themselves or if they work there, and I'm just like, because I don't know, like, what do you do? Because they're at work, and do you want to be like, oh, hey, it's been a long time, make small talk, or just pretend like you don't remember? It's just an awkward situation. I don't like it. So, poor, like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to him, though, but I miss him. I
I
forgot
was
all
just
about
okay.
him.
Dude, like just like yeah, I was just like and high school depressed, outsider, like um I would at times like I didn't want to accept people's friendship and yet that was like the one thing I was receiving some I was getting like a lot of offers of that kind of thing from different people like in my freshman year like some senior girl that just wanted to befriend me like just to like talk to me and just be friendly towards me. I was thinking like, well, why though? Sophomore year, I think that's when Javier came into the picture of like talking to me, and I did have like I think I kind of grew into having a group of friends, but at that time, it was friends that I knew from middle school, and along with that, I felt like I was just like a tag along kid
Right.
to that group. And junior year, that's when I think I became like really all by myself again.
Hmm.
Even till senior year, or like I'm not gonna like expect you to know, but like senior year, they even see me like really hang out around anybody else other than you or Javier.
I mean, not overly much, to be honest, because I mean, it was like I don't know. Senior year to me was kind of a blur. To be real with you, it happened so fast.
Mhm.
I remember the one thing I do remember was like we were in cross country, but I remember senior year of cross country was really weird because before then we had our group. Our group was like Gandhi and Ramon, um, and Jared. Oh
Yeah.
God, those people are so cool. But I haven't what do you call it? Gandhi and Ramon. Well, was Ramon? I don't think he was our year. Maybe he was. I think he was a year ahead of us. I
Yeah.
think he was with Gandhi's year. Um, but they'd graduated, and so I don't know. Our group kind of fell apart, and you were hanging out, at least in cross country, with oh fuck, I can't even remember. There were so many new people there too. It was bizarre, but I don't
Mhm.
know what happened. I got super fast senior year. I don't know what happened. I may have been doing
You
like
just I remember you were just really busy. You were like having so many things going on senior year that I think that's why that you can remember much of anything else.
no, yeah. I mean, truthfully, it's like yeah, bro. Boy, what a time! What a time to be alive. I was heartbroken going into senior year too. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's so much to talk about, but yeah, I don't remember like getting back to your thing. I don't remember like seeing you hang out with a lot of people. You were pretty by yourself. Like go on, you know what I mean? Like you were
And
you were saying,
yeah, I was just mainly hanging by myself, and at that point, I think I know they say senior year is supposed to be like the best year of like your high school life, but I think sophomore or junior year was like the best one. Senior year was like a weird mix, cause I don't know. I think because okay. I'm not gonna lie to admit this now because it's in the past. But my grades weren't doing so well at all to the point that I think I couldn't compete in the last run for cross countries. And only they only allowed me to just go practice run with them. But other than that, couldn't even. I mean, that's why I don't even have my last college year picture. I mean, high school year picture of like with the runners.
mm,
So I mean, shit. Like I don't know. I was like I was trying to make up for a class that I missed out on with credits, and I guess I was like still hurting from because my grandpa passed away in junior year. Like so much stuff was just like it was like the worst time, but at the same time, like I think just only during what is it? Homecoming dance. That's
mm,
when some classmate of mine, she I guess she was able to have her boyfriend come along, uh be invited to the dance. And she had me dance with her, and then a different female friend of mine also danced with me, and I was just thinking like shit, like I forget that sometimes I have friends like made over the high school years, and I was just
mm,
thinking like that kind of stuff like hits a bit different whenever I think back on that kind of thing.
mm.
And for prom, I like Um, yeah, I was. It's not like what I had in mind. Like, I guess prom was. I was hoping to be more like outgoing, but of course, and I would still. I'm always gonna be like a bit of a. What's the opposite of someone that's like all outgoing? I forgot.
Introvert.
Damn, how did I forget that? Yeah, introvert. And yeah, you can't expect an introvert to like suddenly just be like, oh, hip, like all happy and stuff. Like that's what I hate about some movies where they make the introvert like become like a complete 180 of the person they were back then. Like
Mm.
that's not how it works in real life. But
Yeah,
anyways,
because a boy comes along or something. Like they get shown. Uh, yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, it's fucking annoying. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that prom was pretty good. In the end, I was still able to dance with my prom date, which was like one of my another female friend of mine, and I was also able to dance with some of my friends as well that still would talk to me. And even up to this day, like sometimes I don't interact in the group chat that much, I could still like interact with them. And that's something that a lot of people still, I mean, wouldn't be able to say,
Mm.
especially when I also have you and sometimes Sergio. or Gandhi, as you call him.
Hmm.
And who else?
Yeah,
Jonathan.
I message them occasionally too. Yeah.
Yeah, like just to think back on those kind of times were pretty good, and yeah, like, it was weird to be like the senior guy, because then you would think like you would know more stuff, but at that time you also be like still be having new experiences. Like people will sometimes look up to you now, and it's just weird to have that kind of a feeling that people would sometimes just look up to you and like ask you stuff. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, I don't know. I'm just been like winging it throughout this whole time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't. I think I would just like say this, that I admire Bully for how it does this school setting so well. And even though like for the limited time, of course, I mean for the limited capabilities of its time, of course you're not gonna be able to be seeing like 100 varieties of kids, but they do have like a set amount of kids in the game where you'll be able to recognize them, like each and every single one of them. Like you'll be able to like, oh, I know this one. Oh, I remember this one. Just like that good certain amount number, which is good. And I just gotta get props to the people. I mean, to Rockstar for also making the town like after I think the first chapter of being the game, you can now unlock the town and you can do more stuff as you progress, and it's just a wonderful thing. Like it's great what the game did. Is there anything you want to add into like just having your school experience with the bully game or?
Well, I mean, I know it was really different because like it's weird. Jimmy basically, you know how in chapter 5 at the very beginning, how he starts out and everyone loves him and stuff.
I remember,
It's
yeah.
yeah, so it's like it's really weird because that was sort of me, but sort of not. And we got there in different ways. I hadn't really thought about it too much until you mentioned like your experiences in prom and this and that. Um, as you know, I was doing like a lot. I did a
Mhm.
lot. Like I don't know what it was, but I just did a lot in general. Like junior year was um, probably one of my busiest because junior year in particular, I took let's see, I was in cross country, I was in weightlifting, so I was doing like double the amount that everyone was doing.
Mm.
Um, I think that's how I got so fast out of nowhere, to be honest with you, because I was just running and doing leg shit all the time, like in the weight room. Um, I was doing marching band. I was in French club. I was the secretary for the French club. Dang, like that's a lot.
Oh
And I
my god.
mean, it's kind of like in the same way how Jimmy kind of gets involved in everything. I mean, in that he kicks their asses. He just fights everybody in the school. Um, I did like, you know, the point I'm trying to make with that example is like it felt like towards the end of senior year or junior year. Junior year is where I felt like I was beloved. Like everyone was like, "Oh, Nate, this and that."
Hmm.
Um, Senior year, I actually got nominated for most talented, and I thought that was crazy because like I didn't I I don't know. It's hard to explain, but like I didn't know tons of people, even though I did. If that makes sense. Like I was
Oh
in
yeah.
I was in cross country, I was in marching band, I was in French club, but it was like I just I would talk. I had a small circle in each of those. I wasn't like super overly popular, you know what I mean? But maybe I was. I don't know. You never know until like you talk with other people and see like their perception of you and stuff. So I don't know, but I don't think I was anyway. And but it felt like that, towards the end of junior year. Um, Senior year more like everyone was kind of keeping themselves. Everyone was focused on doing their shit, graduating, all
Mm.
that. Um, Senior year was a weird time. I have to sneeze, but I'm gonna keep talking anyway. Um, so, you know, and you mentioned how like Bully, it didn't have tons and tons of kids like varied. It didn't spawn random NPCs or anything, but I kind of did like that because it made you more familiar with the people around you. Because to be honest with you,
Mhm.
high school is like that. You see hundreds of people and you don't pay them any mind. There might be one person you recognize walking. Like I feel like we all have that walking person. Like
Makes it more
you're
personable.
walking, yeah. Um, you're walking like to class, right? Like across, because our campus was big. You'd walk across the campus, and then you see someone who you see every day. You don't know them, but like you see them walking.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I knew like Bridget before I actually started dating her. I mean, hard not to. She's albino, so it'd be like, oh, that white bitch, But yeah, the yeah, I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is that everyone else is a blur except for the people that you know. Know what I mean? So like, you see your homie, you see Gandhi walking to class, you're like, hey, but like, there's 15 people behind Gandhi. You don't know who the fuck they are. You don't
Yeah.
care. You know. Um, so realistically, that's probably a decent perception of the people that you know, because you'd be surprised how many names you know in high school. And in Bully, everyone had their own name, they had their own picture in the yearbook. I'd say that's probably about the same amount that you reasonably get to know in high school. You fill up that yearbook. Um, I don't know. I think that it makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely more personable. It's the experience, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but
I could relate to that actually. Like, it's just a weird thing to think about. And I could relate to that because I think it was junior year or senior year. I'm not sure. I always remember this day as the walk because I was just walking around with Javier. I feel like it's probably like one of those last walks around like before like everything changes again. I don't know what it was, but I think I was just like we were just walking around throughout the whole school because we're like that. He likes
oh
to like
yeah, I
yeah.
forgot. We would do that. And like I remember you couldn't go to certain places like if the security guard would see you or whatever, they tell you to
Uh-huh.
like go back to the designated like eating, but we just walked wherever. We'd
Yeah.
walk like out to the parking lot where the ROTC kids would um you remember like they do their shit after school, their
Yeah,
drills
there's
and such.
exercises.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. I completely forgot about that. But go on.
Yeah, it was just like I would consider this like the walk because I was walking around like with him, and I think it just gave me like a bit of reflection because throughout the whole time, I mean not throughout the whole time, but like from give it like 3 or 4 minutes while we're talking about like whatever the hell we were talking about, someone was saying like, hey, what's up? Like, oh, hey, Alex, hey, Alejandro, how are you doing? Hey, like, hey, it's nice to see you. Like, it happened like quite a bit. And by the time we decided to like sit inside, maybe sit inside one of the classrooms. I mean, no,
Mm,
not the
the
classrooms, like
buildings
the
though.
buildings, little halls.
Yeah.
He was still like, "Dang, Alex, you're pretty popular." And I was like, "Me? Fuck no! Like, I'm the most unpopular kid here." And then I just now, like when I think back on it, I was saying like, I'm not popular, but I was someone that people would just know. Like
Or
somehow they just like somehow
you
know.
had genuine friends to an extent too. Like it wouldn't be you know, you'd pass by. I feel like people they would take the time to like they knew you and they'd say hi to you, which like is, believe it or not, if you've never talked to these people before, that's a big deal because there's some people in classes that you talk to, say hi to them, whatever. There's some people you never talk to and they never give you anything. I feel like you can kind of bring that out in people where you might never see you. Like, say you and I weren't friends, but we were in the same class. We never talked in class or anything, but I know your name because, roll call and all that. If I saw you, I'd probably say hi. I'd probably be like, what's up? I feel like you bring that out in people. I don't know. You just have a very, like, friendly, genuine personality.
Yeah, that's good to know. Like, dude, I was just so freaking glad that I knew and saw you like on the first day of cross country training because I don't know, like
Yeah, dude.
I was like going to the first meet and like that's when we like actually like officially spoke. Like you just
Yeah.
like walked up to me, I was like, hey man, and I was like thinking like, oh, we're gonna be buddies. Please let's us be buddies.
Yeah,
And
because I mean, I don't remember how we knew each other, but I know that I knew you like by sight. Was
health
it PE? Was it
health
there
class.
was something.
It was health class that we knew each other.
Health class. There it is. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had Miss Santini and Miss Gray. Beard. I don't remember her name. I'm calling her Greybeard because it's Skyrim. I don't know. Greywood, I think. Greywood.
Greywood,
Um,
yeah, you got it.
yeah, so that's right. We knew each other from health class. And we knew each other enough. I feel like we talked a little bit, but we didn't talk, you know?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, good times. Good times. Wait, okay, because I was dating Jackie at the time. I swear, like, was it through Jackie? Like, was she talking with you, just hanging out or something?
It was
I
more of a. We were just like next door class. Oh, not next door.
table
No,
mates.
we
We
were just
were
like
like
next door
table mates.
classmates. Like, cause like
Yeah.
we sat next to each other and or sat in the same group, and that was it. Like sometimes we would talk, and there was like a point where she would ask me like, "Hey, do you have like Devil May Cry 3?" Like, and I was thinking like, "Yeah, you want to borrow it?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." But then like the next day, like my fucking PlayStation 2 broke. I was like, "Damn."
I remember that, bro. I remember when her PlayStation broke. I stole Kingdom Hearts 2 from her, and I don't know where it is now. I don't know what happened. I think I threw it away. I don't know. But
It happens.
no, I hope that my brother stole it. I gotta ask him because I know he went to my room one day while I wasn't home, and I know he took a game. Maybe he took that too. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping. But yeah, um, yeah. So that's true. Yeah, in cross country. Yeah, I was thinking too. I was just sitting around. And it's weird because I didn't know anyone there except you. Prior to seeing you, you remember Jasmine? Um, she was. Do you remember Adbel? Oh, okay. Uh,
Jasmine, did she look slightly Asian?
yeah, and like she
Okay, I think I know
smiled.
who
She
you're
had
talking
the
about.
dimples. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, what?
No, she did. She had like
Oh,
she was like
dimples. Okay,
dimples.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think? Uh, okay.
Like there's so much noise going on. I'm like, wait, what?
No, dimples. She
Dim-
had, yeah, she looked kind of Asian, but she wasn't. I swear it was funny because she had like a mole or a beauty mark like in her
There's a mole.
forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, on the
And
forehead? Okay, yeah.
no, maybe. I don't know. I know she had one right here.
Yeah.
In my mind, for some reason, she has another one right here. Because I used to think like, damn, she looks Indian to me, even though like, you know, I don't know. But yeah, Jasmine came up to me and she's like being all friendly and bubbly, and I'm like, bitch, I'm like, I'm not used to this. Leave me alone. Like I was happy, but it's like, when you're not used to kindness, when you grow like it's like if you grew up in the ghetto, the hood, and then you go to like the suburbs and everyone's all friendly and nice to you,
Mm.
it throws you off. You know what I mean? So I was thrown off. And yeah, thank God that you were there too, because I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have quit the team. I'd have been like, "What the fuck?" Because,
Same here. I know a
dude,
lot of people do
I
that.
remember my first mile. I think we ran together too. Just to have some camaraderie there. I remember my first mile was 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I hate
Wow,
middle school,
16.
dude. Middle school, they told us they were like, "Oh, you're gonna go do the mile," and the mile's not a real mile because I ran the mile in 4 minutes and 30 seconds, right? In middle school, I ran the mile
Yeah.
in that amount of time, and what do you call it? I was, it got me mad because Mr. Costa, I was in his French one class at the time, and he was saying like, "Oh, my fastest mile time," because I don't know if he told you, but he was gonna like he had aspirations to go into the Olympics. He ended
Really?
up not. Yeah, he ended up not being able to. I don't know if he made it to like to a qualifier or something like that, but I know he told me that he wanted to when he was younger. So I asked him like out of curiosity because he asked me to go into the cross country team what his fastest mile time was, and he said that his was 4:45. That's son of a I haven't even beaten his. I'm upset. Anyway though, but yeah, and I was like, oh, I could beat that easy. My fastest was 4:30, and he's like, really? Like kind of like I think he knew I was full of shit. He probably gets that all the time. People saying, oh, my fastest mile time is this, and he's like, yeah, it's not a real mile. He knew.
Damn.
I didn't know. So I was shocked when I ran my first real mile. I was shocked at how far it was. I was shocked at I don't know, bro. It was just shocking. It was an experience. 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I was like, geez, Louise. You know, yeah. I wouldn't have like kept with it if not for. I mean, because we made friends fairly easily. Gandhi was really cool and Ramon, because Gandhi wasn't slow, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't like, it was weird. I feel like Gandhi,
He's like a good balance, though.
to me, what I've noticed is I was never really able to beat Gandhi, not really. It seemed like when if I were to beat him, it would be like barely, and he could keep going. It's like he wasn't trying as hard as he could have, I felt like anyway,
Hmm.
because he wasn't like a rabbit, you know, he wasn't like Marcos or he wasn't like the super fast people. He wasn't like Roy, but um he had a lot of endurance, you know. Um Yeah, but like he hung out with Ramon and Ramon, you know, the next year there was Jared and gosh, and Jesus too. I don't know, bro. What were we doing with them? Because they weren't, because we started out, we were like slow. At least at first we were slow. We got faster, obviously, but we were really slow. How did we get to know them?
I
Like,
think we just kind of randomly spoke to each other like from time to time, and I guess we sort of became like a bit of a, hey, like try to do this from time to time, or hey, you guys want to like try this kind of running style, like. And I think when the coaches tell us like remember to run as a group, I think that's what helped us like try to be also bond
mhm.
as well. At least that's my assumption, because it's just crazy. Because I remember that I would even try to make attempts to even speak to the other guys, and dude, it was weird though, because like everyone's just just really that friendly in that group that we were in, like at least in the first year together.
Mhm.
Because sometimes I'd be saying like after like I'm dying like crazy, sometimes some people would say like, hey, try to control your breathing like this, or just like talk to me like, hey, what was your time? And I think that's like the icebreaker right there, like, hey, what was your time? Something like that. And then we just complain about how much we hate racing, even though we love to do it.
Yeah, it's so
And
stupid.
yeah, and then there was just I don't know, it was just weird because like some random guys or random girls would just like suddenly say like, hey, so what like so like what's your name, or what grade are you in? And I was just thinking like, why is this happening? Like, why are they being friendly? Like, it's just like I think I understand where you're coming from when you say like I'm not exactly from the ghetto, but more like since I get bullied or picked on a lot, like from like elementary
You're
to
used to that. Yeah, you're used to that kind of treatment, that kind of, yeah, so it
yeah,
freaks you out. I mean,
yeah,
not
like,
like freak out like overly, but you're like on your guard. You're like, what the hell is this? You're thrown off. Like it's weird.
and from elementary to high school, and bully didn't help with like at least trust as well, because people could turn on you on a whim just for the fact they don't respect you, and
Hmm.
not forgetting the fact that I noticed that like the girls that Jimmy would romance could be seen like afterwards like messing around with other guys. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I
oh
remember I
shit,
saw.
like Jimmy's all alone in the end. That's kind of fucked. Even with the supposed final girl, she would be. You could see her like being with some random jock. I was thinking like, dude,
Dude,
like
she's a
you can't really
pedophile.
trust
What the
anybody.
fuck? Like, I thought she was like, well, maybe she's a dropout. Maybe she's like 17, but I always thought that she was like an adult, like, you know,
Hmm.
like a proper dropout. I thought she was like 20. I don't know. That's weird though. But yeah, that's true. I remember I saw I'd always be fighting people when they'd be making out with the girls and the girls too. I think I'd throw firecrackers at them and try to teach them a lesson. But
Jesus Christ.
I except for this one time, like I saw Algernon getting it on with someone. I was so happy for him. I was like, "You fucking go, dude!" You know, because I knew this kid and he reminded me of Algernon so much, like a Mexican Algernon. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so Algernon holds a special place in my heart. But yeah,
Just not used to it. Like, cause
no,
especially
yeah.
when I don't know, cause I feel there was like this post that I once read like on some like I like how we're really actually get really stuck with the whole school bully thing. Like I love it,
Mhm.
but I think you can notice when you really haven't been treated well, like by other people that much, when because you're on the defense as soon as someone like treats you nicely, and you're also able to like I'm not sure. Have you ever like had some instances where you could like know that you're not gonna like someone just because like based on like right on sight or just by some energy feel?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Okay, then yeah. Because I remember reading that it for some people that have gone through that kind of experience, I mean, gone through that lifestyle where everybody feels like, uh, s- it feels like you could get betrayed from anybody, like at any time, to the point where you're able to like pick on stuff just like that in a snap.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why, like, when my girl like will sometimes tell me about some people, or I just meet like random new coworkers or new people like in my life, I would just like either know when I'm gonna like them, or I'm not gonna like them, but I'm not gonna hate them because like, okay, you're there, you're okay.
No, yeah, yeah.
And then there's just the people like it's just like on site, like I'm just gonna despise your existence. Like I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that.
I can like look at people like back in like in school in my college days, because since dropped out, I used to be able to look at people and be like, I hate them. And like I don't even I haven't heard them, like they haven't said a word, but I'm just like, I hate them. Um it's really weird. Like some people you can just tell. Some people really shock you, some people surprise you. Um and some people they have it written on their face. It's really weird. Like I don't know. That's bizarre to think about, you know.
It
But
is.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like the weirdest thing. Like it helps out, and there are gonna be times where like, okay, I gotta like not think this way. Like I gotta give them a chance, because like I get the idea that I'm not gonna like these people, and even if I get them the chance later on, they do something that mess up like the whole trust thing or whole friendship slash relationship thing. And I'm just thinking like, wow, that's some kind of scary shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough too because like part of that is just like I feel like for me, for myself personally, I hit the gold mine when it comes to like friends, long-term friends and stuff. Because my lifelong best friend, I've known him since fourth grade.
Wow.
Um, and like his little cousin too. They're like my two. I talk with them every single day, kind of thing, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and like most of my friends, it's been that same way that I meet them and um, you know, well, those are like my lifelong friends. It's good. Some people don't get that. Some people, most people, I think these days, I don't know um, exactly, but I know it's not a common thing. I know, like most people, you have your coworkers that you meet, and they're your friends until you go and do something else. Or you have your like college friends who are your friends while you're in college or doing whatever. But
Yeah,
as soon
stuff
as
like
like
that.
yeah, as
Mhm.
soon as there's like a mutual like once that activity that is shared with you to like ceases or like one of you goes your separate way, the friendship kind of fades, it kind of ends.
Right.
um I've known school to be like that too, especially after high school. That's where it really gets weird because I know I'd be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna, everyone always says after high school, like you stop talking with people. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be talking with people, and I tried. I really did. But no, people get busy, you get busy, and then you think like, oh, I want to talk to this person. Well, fuck you. They don't want to talk to you. It's complicated, and
I
I feel like
know. It's
yeah,
weird.
part of that distrust comes with dating too, like being interested in people. Like it's weird because I've been interested in girls since I was like since like
Elementary.
first grade, bro. Like not even late elementary, like first grade. I've been like, I love you, bitch, and I don't even know you know, I don't even know what love is at that point. Like it's bad. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been I have like I know people who are just not interested in other people. Like whether it's because um they just don't like people romantically or if it's because they're kind of hiding those feelings, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I envy those people because they kind of like, well, then again, like they're gonna go in their first relationship and it's gonna be fucking weird. Like I'm glad I have some kind of life experience going into stuff, but relationships, especially the young ones, they typically don't last. You know, like eventually you find the one that does last, but like when you're younger, um, they don't typically, and especially as like time goes on, that whole trend it was weird before, like to date your high school sweetheart and to marry them and stuff. It's even weirder now. It typically doesn't happen. You know what I mean? But like,
I
if
have
you think
texted
about it,
once, so soon
yeah,
enough, or hopefully enough, I'll
yeah,
technically. Who knows? I
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
It's like but girls are destined to betray. Well, not girls, boys too. Yeah, I'm not trying to be sexist to the I just
Because over time
said
you realize
girls
both sides
because
do the shit.
yeah, I just say girls because of my experience. I am a male. I've dated girls. That's what I'm saying. But people that you date are destined to like betray you, or at least that's the way you'll see it. Because truth be told, you're not. I mean, because you can get cheated on. When you're cheated on, that's like a completely different thing. That really fucks with you. But even if you don't get cheated on, even if you don't get cheated on, and like you get broken up with, it feels like they've wronged you. You know what I mean? So
Oh
all
yeah.
this distrust starts like when you're young, when you start like being interested in people and getting attention from them. You know, it's terrible. But I mean, it's part of life. You know, there's nothing you can really say about that. It is what it is. It's it's weird, but
It is. Do you want to take a little break? Just so like I don't know, just like a little use the restroom or whatever, drink some water before like we get into I guess the next section of like this whole talk.
yeah, I'll take a sip of water.
All right.
Um, yeah.
Um, I'll just like stop the recording here, and then we can continue on from
Mhm.
yeah. All right, and we'll be right back, people. Thank you for listening to us so far, and we'll be right back soon enough.